following game has no ESRB rating, nor is there any sort of listing for restrictive content provided by the developers. However, if we look at the beginning of the trailer, it lists a PEGI 12 rating, which I believe PEGI is the European equivalent of the ESRB, and their 12 rating is equivalent for the teen rating. So I would assume that the content in the game would be appropriate for anyone aged 13 and up, and anyone not in that age bracket should not be watching this video. You have been warned.
Greetings and salutations, I am Outlier, and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is, of course, my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're going to be playing a game called BattleTech. It is a video game variant of a tabletop strategy game, and I'm about to explain what a tabletop strategy game is. Basically, a tabletop strategy game is a strategy game, much like a video game, but played with actual figurines in a physical space, as opposed to on a computer or video game console. What do you mean that sounds weird? Yes, it's basically a video game without the video game aspect. You do know that there's a large number of games out there that aren't video-based. They're all called board games, and they usually involve actual physical pieces and multiple people playing them. New concept for this one. It was made by people who were fans of the original tabletop game, and while I don't really play tabletop games myself, mostly because the barriers to entry are rather high, it's the initial cost required to actually participate. Essentially, you have to buy all these little figurines, and I don't have the money to buy any of them. Although BattleTech was probably the only one I ever thought about trying to get into. Mostly because, as an offshoot to the BattleTech game, there are video games out there called MechWarrior games. I do enjoy playing, and they haven't really made a new one recently, so I haven't had a chance to play them. And all the older games that I own of the MechWarrior series don't run, as far as I know, on Windows 10 because they're that old. And Microsoft, which I believe partially owns the copyright to the MechWarrior video games, doesn't post them on Steam. But from what I've heard from other sources, yes, the one channel that I watch about this on YouTube, the exact owners of the BattleTech and MechWarrior license and copyrights are kind of changed hands over the years and decades that it's been in existence, as has the source material that it's birthed from, for lack of a better term. So no one really knows who owns the rights, and yet at the same time an ever-increasing list of people say that they own the rights to it. So it's one of those things that it's, at least from what I've heard, hard to track down. But the people who made this particular video game at least was able to track down, I guess, part of the rights to make their game. and it is a turn-based strategy game. So it's not exactly like the games that I've played before, although I have played a little bit of it. The whole premise of BattleTech is that it's in the far-flung future, and you pilot what's known as a battle mech, which is a large 2 to 4 story walking machine armed to the teeth with lasers and heavy cannons and missiles and certain weapons that are best described as lightning guns and rail guns. So once again, I'm tripping over a game that I've never had to explain before, but I know probably more than enough to make me trip over myself. So let's get started. This game is, of course, made by. Thank you again. And well, that being said, let us begin.
Let's start. We can start with a standard or custom campaign. Just game difficulty in settings to customize your play experience. Let's try standard.
I am Kamea of House Arano, High Lady of the Oregon Reach, Protector of Coromadir, and the Sword of Restoration. But I am not a hero, no matter what the stories say. A hero would have sacrificed more, compromised less.
Yeah, I'm not so certain about that.
A hero would have done better.
Maybe,
You
maybe not.
know this, of course. You were there. My father used to tell me stories about the ancient times, about the Star League, a golden age of prosperity, upheld by the great mech warriors of old, guardians of the innocent, protectors of the peace. I always dreamed of following in their footsteps. But I was too young to see the truth of things. After all, it wasn't heroism or a noble cause that won me the throne. It was hiring a mercenary, skilled enough, perhaps ruthless enough, to carry the day. Hiring you. I still don't know if you fought for honor or for the thrill of it, for belief in my cause, or just in my money. But whether it was your noble heart or mercenary mind, your actions gave us hope. That makes you a hero in the eyes of history. Whether you believe it, that's up to you.
Okay, well, why do people always assume that people only have one reason for doing things? Alright, so welcome to the Argorian Reach. The Argorian Reach is a small kingdom in the Rimward Periphery, a region of space that lies at the outskirts of the more densely colonized Inner Sphere. It is home to the Argorian Coalition, a federation organized around a parliamentary monarch and ruled by the Arano family. For 3 generations under the rule of House Arano, the Oregon Coalition has remained a relative peaceful corner of the periphery. It is here your story begins. So decades ago, your family came from the Reach and these are the various intergalactic empires: the Drakus Combine, the Free Worlds League, the Federated Suns, the Lyrian Commonwealth, the Capellan Confederation, and then we have other periphery states like the Magistry of Canopus, the Taurian Concordant, and the Rimward Periphery. And then we also have the Deep Periphery, and Each one has a little backstory, which for the sake of time, I am not going to read, but I guess you can always pause the video and read it yourself if you actually wish to do so, or you're an incredibly fast reader and you have no need for pausing, in which case, congratulations to you. I'm going to be from the Federated Suns in the books, or at least from the lore that I have experienced. They always seem to be the closest form to they seem to be the closest to the good guys and try to rule justly, for lack of a better term. It is the organization that, well, it is the empire that Victor Steiner Davian, hero of the Inner Sphere, comes from, but it's also those same places that birthed his sister, Catherine Steiner Davian. You are of noble birth, I would hope so. Though immigrants of the Ugorian Reach, your family soon established a comfortable presence in a small backwater system on the edge of the Ugorian space. By the time you were born, your family had become the de facto ruling nobility of the system's only inhabited planet. You were the oldest child, heir to the family's titles, and ancestral battle mech, an old blackjack BJ-1. This is where you meet Raju Mastiff Montgomery, a veteran of the Succession Wars. Which one? Whom your parents hired as for a season to train you as a mech warrior. Raju was a strict but capable teacher, and you quickly became a skilled pilot under his tutelage. It was an uneventful life, until the day after your 16th birthday, when you were exiled, you struck on your own, your family went bankrupt, your family died in an accident, your family was betrayed. And again, I'm not going to just read all of these. So, your family died in an accident seems to be the least backstabbing and sad background possible. But out on your own, you fell into the life of a soldier, pirate, gladiator, Inner Sphere mercenary, frontier freelancer, or merchant guard. We'll go with Inner Sphere mercenary. That is technically in line with the game. Until years later, you cross paths with Raju Mastiff Montgomery once again. Career chance brought you back to the Agorian Reach, as your mercenary crew took an ill-fated contract against the enclave of pirates on the outskirts of the Agorian space. Job went south, and you were the only survivor of the unit. Raju's lance happened to be on patrol nearby. After rescuing you and helping to honor your fallen comrades, he offered you a job in the House Orano Royal Guard. So it is that you find yourself reunited with the old mentor, preparing for your ancestral blackjack for guard duty on the coronation day of Lady Camilla Orano. The character that I've chosen, his name is Outlier, and I just simply chose the call sign of Out because I'm of that level of imaginativeness. Basic background is decades ago, your family came to your Ugorian Reach from the Federated Suns. The day after your 16th birthday, the rest of your family died in an accident, and out on your own, you fell into the life of an Inner Sphere mercenary. As the character's portrait, as usual, I just basically picked a default picture, made certain he had a beard, and just went from there. Let's begin. High Lord Tammy Orano II is dead. The Oregon Reach is left in an uncertain crossroads. Once prosperous, is now a kingdom in decline, surrounded by powerful neighbors. Lord Santiago Espinosa, brother-in-law to the late High Lord, is convinced that the slow-moving Council of Founding Houses must be dissolved. His proposed directive would conscript their house guard and centralize power under a single throne. However, the High Lord's heir, the noble Lady Camilla Arano, is determined to rebuild the Reach without transforming it into an authoritarian state. She has enacted her uncle's directive and has rebuked his vehement pleas to reconsider. On the morning of Lady Arano's ascension to the throne, her loyal captain of the guard, Raju Massif Montgomery, makes preparations to escort her safely to the coronation process that awaits in Cordia City. Coronation Day, Arano's Summer Palace, 8:53 local time.
Command interface initiated.
Okay, move the mouse to the edge of the screen or use the basic movement keys. Raise mouse button QE, rotate the camera. It's Raju Montgomery. Okay, out. It's default now. I had the Espinosa refit yards rest repairs in your black chat. Looks like it's all in one piece. We should run some diagnostics on it, just to be sure. Standard field tests, so you know the drill. More importantly, though, I want to tell you more about the job I brought you out here to do. Now, do me a favor and get that BattleTech moving. Let's see if there are any kinks in the actuators. Move to the mark, click the mech warrior's portrait, and press tab to cycle between available units.
I'll come right out and say it, kid. I wasn't completely honest with you the other day. There's gonna be more to this job than escort duty.
So these are all the weapons currently equipped to the BattleTech. It has 4 medium lasers and two AC2s. Like anything that's multiple dozens of tons, it can just ram into things, and because it has jump jets, it looks like it has a death from above attack. And so we move. So I brought you here because there's something wrong in the capital. It's been too quiet since High Lord Tamati's funeral, and I'm worried about Lady Camilla's safety during her coronation procession. Anyway, it looks like your actuators check out. Let's conduct a weapons test. Target one of those burned out urban mechs and open fire.
Like I was saying, I can't prove anything. But my gut tells me something's off. And a warrior trusts their instincts.
Target with the mouse, press tab to cycle between targets. Click fire when ready.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Shot, your guns are in working order at least. I've been training Lady Arano since she was 14 years old. She can be naive at times and proud, but I have no doubt that she'll be a just and effective ruler. So I'm to see her safely to Cordia City. I'll rescue her when she's in the capital with her cousin Victoria by her side. Lady Victoria, well, she's only been training under me for a single season. She's already shaped herself into one of the strongest mech warriors I've ever seen. Reminds me a lot of you, truth be told. Anyway, you should run a check on your targeting computer. You see that drone over there? While moving through the tree line, put some hurt on it for me, and then when it turns, take it out with a rear angle shot. After it's down, we'll keep moving.
Camilla's like a daughter to me. And her late father, High Lord Tamati, was a good friend.
All weapons committed.
On traditional turn-based.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Nice shot. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with agrarian politics. I don't have much care for politics in general, but that's just me. But the Reach was badly shaken by High Lord Tamati's death. It needs a smooth transfer of power, and Camilla belongs on the concordant throne. Go ahead and fire up your jump jets, kid. I want to see you descend this cliff face. Aim for that patch of ground over there near the edge of the lake.
Victoria pulls no punches, but she's been a loyal companion to Kamea since they were kids. Aside from you, there's no one I'd rather have by my side in a fight.
So in addition to walking, certain battle mechs also have jump jets, which essentially allow them to fly short
Engaging jump
distances.
jets.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. Jump jets build a lot of heat, and that was more than your engine could handle. Head on into that water. We need to get you cooled off.
Also, BattleTechs. Battle mechs being multiple, multi-ton weapons of death and destruction, run off of fusion power. They're basically walking nuclear devices. And they generate a lot of waste heat with everything that they do. It's the one restriction that battle mechs actually have in the game universe. So periodically they need to cool down. Warning: plasma leak detected, jump jet malfunction, jump jet systems damaged, system inoperable until repaired. No more jumping. Oh, for the love of all the gods, this is what I get for insisting on a rush job. Not that I had much of a choice. The Espinosa refit yards were backlogged like you wouldn't believe. It looked like they were trying to process every single Royal Guard mech in time for the coronation. There isn't any time to get your jets replaced, so we'll just have to make do without them. Go ahead and take that mech down with a melee attack. I want to be sure nothing else is going to break down on your blackjack before we take it out on the concurrent road. Melee attack using piloting skills to hit, ignores evasive, hit removes guard, and a bunch of other stats I don't much care for.
Engaging escort attack.
Good hit, at least that's solid. Alright, one last test. I want you to take your blackjack up to a sprint and evade my attack.
Push that engine, kid. If something goes wrong today, I want to know that your mech can maneuver.
If I remove, the more evasive charges you will gain. Each evasive charge makes you harder to hit. Congratulations, Out. Your blackjack's as combat ready as it can be. Given the circumstances, for what it's worth, I hope that my suspicions turn out to be unfounded and we end the day having a good laugh about what a paranoid old man I've become. But if not, then I know that you'll be ready. Alright, it's time to move out. Lady Arano is waiting for us at the mech bay.
An impressive display, Sir Raju. Of course, this mech warrior was a student of yours. I'd expect them to know their way around a cockpit.
So Mastiff is in a Centurion. That's gonna get old real quick. Out. Allow me to introduce Camilla Arano, the soon-to-be High Lady of the Oregon Coalition. Is Lady Victoria on this channel? Victoria Espinosa. For the time being, my father has summoned me to the Picton docks. I have a fleet inspection, a tour of the family refit yards, start over before the coronation. Behold the responsibilities of a noble daughter. Font of tedium that never runs dry. And then Camilla replies with, know the feeling, cousin. By this time tomorrow, I'll be responsible for the entire reach. Give my best to your father, and don't be late for the tourney. Gambling dens are already taking bets on how long it'll take me to cripple that customized monstrosity you pilot. And Victoria's laughing. Bold words, cousin. But the only victory they'll be celebrating is mine. You may be ascending to the throne today, but my Kaga is more than a match for the family heirloom that you call a battle-met. In the arena, I reign supreme. me your response with laughter. We'll see, cousin, we'll see. At any rate, I will see you at the turning grounds. Sir Raju, I'm ready to go when you are, overland along the concordant road, as is the Urano tradition. Akemi will get you there in one piece. I'll fall out behind me. Remember what I told you.
Mission successful.
Goody.
I remember the Oregon Reach of old, the time of the Great Expansion. I was just a boy then. Proudly we went forth, bringing the light of our coalition to so many systems. And for what? To see our great kingdom slowly waste away? Year after year, the Council deliberates while our economy falters. And the wolves bay at every door, while covetous neighbors plot against us. Well, I say, it can go no further. We are here today because if Lady Urano will not act, someone must. I know what I'm asking of you. You will face former comrades, or even loved ones, on the battlefield. I take up arms against my own niece. But remember, today we sacrifice so that tomorrow we can return our kingdom to its proper glory, to its proper strength. So should you fall tonight, know that you did so as true heroes of the Reach. To your stations, for the Directorate!
Well, if that doesn't explain his motives, nothing will. Stranger, could have sworn dropships went in engines first. But what do I know? I just play the games. Coronation Day, Concordia City outskirts, 13:22 local time. Been tramping down this road for 5 hours.
Command interface initiated.
Alright, so Kamiya Arana, I'm going to miss this, Raju. The clarity of purpose that I feel in the cockpit of a battlement. Simplicity of it. But there they are, just up ahead, the city gates and my future, all laid out before me. Wait, what's that smoke? And then Raju replies with a guard post, one of the small ones that dot the roads leading into the capital. The emergency band's been quiet all morning. I haven't heard anything about a fire.
This is damned odd. I don't like it. Kid, keep your head on a swivel and be ready for anything.
Outside of combat, your Lansky moves in any order. You can even have multiple units moving at the same time.
Roger.
Copy that.
Some sort of explosion, looks recent. Do you think it was an accident? No chance. You see those scorch marks on the rubble? That's laser fire. We need to get you out of here, Kamiya, right now. Yes, I think you're right. There's a patrol of Royal Guard mechs up ahead. We should go to them.
Whatever's happening here, I won't let it derail your coronation. Your people need you.
Thank you, Raju. I will prove myself worthy of the faith you've placed in me.
Of that, I have no doubt.
Kamiya's in a Kintaro. I have no idea what that mech is.
Copy that.
I'm on it.
Confirmed.
It's the House Arano Guardsman. Hail, Mastiff. Hail, Lady Arano. We've been preparing for Lady Arano's coronation parade when we got word of a disturbance along the Concormant Road. The outpost behind us was attacked. Sir Raju found evidence of laser fire. Is the road behind you clear? Aye, all the way to the southern gate. Lead the way, Sir Raju. We'll fall in behind you and guard your six. Tell me something, guardsman. As the road is clear, why is your battle mech damaged? Our mechs are overdue for maintenance, but that isn't important right now. We need to worry about Lady Arano's safety. Now, my lady, if you come with us... No, you're lying to us. It's my coronation day. No mech tech would have sent you out for parade duty in that condition. I'm your sovereign, sir, and you will tell me what happened here. Damn it, girl, we don't have time for this. Take them. Kill the old man in the mech group, but take a Lady Arano alive.
Fall back, Mia. Get behind us.
You didn't train me to cower, Raju. You trained me to fight.
Once combat has begun, different mechs move in different phases. Lighter units generally move more than the heavy ones. To reserve all units actions for a later phase, use the reserve button or press the N key. Select a unit or reserve your units for the next
I've got
phase.
your back.
Alright, so once again in Centurion, and we're fighting a Panther, a Shadowhawk. Nope, just a Panther and a Shadowhawk, okay. Guessing you can't turn any further than that. Alright. So, the Centurion's armed with 2 lasers, an AC-10 and an LRM-10.
Roger that.
Let's kill the thing.
Copy that.
Alright, so he lost an arm.
Punch right through his armor.
The Shadowhawk moves. Takes a hit to the
Barely a
side.
scratch.
Let's move the Blackjack up and... well, hit the Shadowhawk. Because it seemed like a good idea at the time.
I'm listening.
As for Camilla, we'll have her move into the woods.
I'll do what you ask.
And kill the Panther with her 2 medium lasers. And it looks like 3 SRM-6s and an LRM-5. I was unaware that the short range and long range missiles had
I'll
overlap.
make it happen.
He's down.
Eliminated.
Then it's our turn again.
How can I help? Moving out.
Ram him.
To hell with the weapons. That was a critical hit, lad.
And I just go behind him and shoot him back. Picks up the other one.
Critical damage detected.
Tell me what you need.
And we'll just have her fire from here.
Scratch one hostile. My heat is...
Alright. So, someone by the name of Alexander Madria comes up and says, Camilla, there's of course static. Camilla, can you hear me? Alexander, we were just attacked the Royal Guard. My own guardsmen tried to take me prisoner. It's happening here too. The Royal Guard are killing one another in the halls. Lord Caruso's house guard just got gunned down in front of me. The turning pavilion is a slaughterhouse. Don't let these seditionists, wherever they are, steal my birthright. To rally every loyalist we can find and make a push on the capital. I'll take the throne by force if I must. Go to Rotura Township, to the armor. Your soldiers are using it as a rally point. I heard Lord Decimus send his house guard there a few minutes ago. Someone's here. I have to move. Rally what forces you can and meet me at the turning grounds. Be safe. You heard him, Mastiff. Rotura Township. We'll go there and rally our fighters and march on the southern gate with an army at our backs. Mia, I know that you and Lord Madri are friends, but we can't take what he told you on faith. Right now, we don't know who we can trust. In case we do, Alexander has been my closest friend and confidant for as long as I can remember. His loyalty is beyond question. I trust him with my life and yours. Now take me to the armor. As you command, my lady.
Traitors in the guard. And I fear this is only the beginning.
So we now have to move.
Keep close and remember your training. Things are likely to get ugly between here and there.
So Kamiya's technically overheating.
I've got a bandit on my screen.
And we have bad guys. Had bad guys. Alright, so we have 3, looks like sensor contacts. Looks like vehicles of various tonnages.
You've got my attention. Roger that.
So we're just going to have embrace. I have a feeling that there was some sort of hint thingy that I wasn't paying attention to. That hit a rock.
Standing by.
So we're going to have her move Kamiya up to this hill, and hit this vehicle with an LRM-5 installed. And the blackjack is too far back to actually do anything, I don't think. Plus Mastiff's in the way, so it's not like I'm going to actually be able to, attack anything. Their turn.
You're gonna regret that. Talk to me. Roger.
Into these trees and...
Damn you for making me do this, son. Damn you.
take out that vehicle.
Vehicle down. The poor bastards.
Another tank rolls in. And Mastiff is losing armor left and right because everybody's just decided to shoot him.
Reading you loud and clear. Affirmative.
Looks like probably was not the best choice, but did give her cover for that missile barrage, so.
Affirmative. Vehicle destroyed.
Then the final tank rolls in. Shoots Mastiff again. And once again, our character brings up the rear like a hero.
I've taken worse. Orders?
Alright, so it looks like he's actually out of AC-10 ammo.
Roger.
But the lasers and the missiles are enough to blow up the vehicle.
Never stood a chance.
Yeah, usually when it comes to tanks versus walking death machines, the tanks usually don't win.
Mimer's in bad shape.
Since apparently allows us to choice between the two, and Kamiya's running high heat right now, let's move in and take out this tank.
All weapons visited.
Nice job, kid. One fewer hostile on the board.
And then we exit combat. So we keep moving.
Copy that.
Oh no. No, no. We're too late.
So Alexander again. Kamiya, do you read me? It's Espinosa, your uncle. Do you hear me? House Espinosa is usurping the throne. Can't be my uncle, Victoria. Kamiya, I just watched an Espinosa battle mech plow through an alley full of civilians. This is happening, and it's happening now. Dolores have fallen back to the market district. That's where they're making their stand. What's left of the Royal Guard is doing their best. There's something wrong with the battle mechs. Wait, what's that sound? Oh gods. I'm assuming he's dead.
Alexander!
Victoria is now speaking. It's over, Kamiya. Your ascendancy, they're around a legacy, all of it. Victoria, what have you done? I'm assuming she blew up this thing. You know, Kamiya, for years I loved you like a sister, but then my father helped me see it. Your family's complacency, what it's done to the Reach, our nation dwindles like a dying star, and House Arano is to blame. My father offered you a path to glory. I fought under your banner proudly, served as your strong right hand. It was like a knife in my heart when you turned him away. And then Raju responds with, damn it, Victoria, I taught you better than this. You taught me lies. Kamiya, for the love I once bore you, I'm going to give you a chance to surrender. I'll even spare the old man and his mech warrior if you stand down now. I don't want to see you hurt, but you cannot be allowed to live. I'll see you hanged for this, Victoria, you and your father both. You hear me? You are traitors to the Reach, and I will fight you to the last. You truly are a fool. I'll spare you in spite of yourself, but you've cost your royal escort their lives.
Attention, all Espinosa forces. This is Lady Victoria Espinosa. Lady Arano is to be apprehended and taken alive by my command. Fail to follow these instructions, and you will have me to deal with.
Alright, so we have like a locust, a cicada, and a spider. All of which are damaged, but then again, this is still technically the tutorial.
Give my attention. Confirmed.
Oh, that's why he no longer has AC ammo, his AC-10 ammo. He lost one of his arms.
Engaging target.
Yeah, I flipped the building.
Punched right through his armor.
So that one was knocked down. The cicada jumps forward. I'm sorry, the spider jumps forward. And tries to take a shot at the Centurion. blackjack forward, and we'll actually fight the cicada simply because it hasn't moved yet, so it's probably going to move next.
All weapons visited.
Take out its right torso and right arm,
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
and then it moves. But you know, the locust gets back up, I'm sorry. And then the locust moves. In what appears to be a limping manner because we shot its left leg. Usually you take out the leg and it can no longer move.
You have my attention.
So we'll sprint here. I think she just stepped on a building. And apparently when sprinting she doesn't get to attack. But this kid apparently moves in behind her. And then shoots her in the back. Like a
Transmission.
typical rebellion.
Attention, citizens of Coromedere 6. This is Lord Santiago Espinosa. With the unanimous support of the founding houses, I have assumed control of the Oregon Coalition. For your own protection, I urge you to remain calm and stay indoors until otherwise instructed. All hostile units, stand down, and you have my oath that you will not be harmed. Resist, and you will be fired upon.
My father placed his faith in that man. I gave him my trust. He was family.
Orders?
They say it's the closest knives that you never see. Which I'm not certain if anybody actually says that, but what do I know? As we step on a building we didn't notice. Alright, shoot the spider. That missed most things. So, the Locust is missing an arm and only has a SRM-2 and a medium laser left, whereas the Spider has 2 medium lasers left, but is in greater condition. So even though we're currently technically behind the Locust, let's fire on the Spider. Oh, we took out a jump jet.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
I'm assuming the cicada that's over there attacks the Centurion.
Yes, I hear you.
And then we'll just have Camilla beat the Centurion down like punching bag.
Target eliminated.
One down.
Talk to me. Affirmative. Aye, aye.
Enemy's turn. The Locust starts moving. It looks like backwards. No, it just turned around to shoot Camilla in the back again. A lot of people seem to enjoy stabbing me in the back. And then, so the spider moves forward and tries to punch the Centurion
Lady around now.
to death. Kind of interesting that they can both move at the same turn, but each of my mechs can only move once per turn. And the spider's probably a bigger threat, so. It in the back and take it out.
Enemy mech destroyed. Warning. Heat exceeding recommended level.
Although now apparently we're overheated.
You have my attention. I'm on the move.
Then we'll have Camilla run behind the Locust and just shoot it full of bullets. Alright, so apparently Alexander's still alive. So Camilla, do you read me? Alexander, thank the gods. I thought I'd lost you when the bombs fell. You very nearly did. Camilla, the city is lost. We have to get off this planet and we need to do it now. Can't abandon Cordomir. This is my home, my birthright. I can't abandon the planet. This is my home, my birthright. The battle's over, Camilla. Lord Madaria has the right of it. It's time for you to run. Escape from this mass and live to restore the coalition another day. You're both right. My uncle's is one. The reach is his. We'll mourn for it later, the both of us. For now, you need to move. I have a dropship waiting at Shepherd's Pass. I'm on my way there right now. Hurry and meet me there, please. We're on our way.
You get to that ship, Alexander. I mean it. I will not lose you and my throne on the same day.
This is the dropship that we need to get to. That other large plane-looking thing drops off more enemies by the looks of it. So we got a... So we got a 35-ton vehicle, another 35-ton, 25-ton vehicle, and I could have sworn there was something else here.
Orders?
Alright, so since we can't actually see anybody, we'll just have them sprint all the way up here. And it's another Scorpion.
Yes, I hear you.
So Harper move forward,
I'll make it
Mia move
happen.
forward. And shoot
Copy
the
that.
tank.
Reporting
One
one less
vehicle
vehicle. My mech needs to cool.
And she's overheated. My character, however, is completely out of range. And is also overheated, so not much we can do about that. And then the other vehicle, another striker, shows up. But he's taking the
Arm breach. Internal damage.
he's taking the their pot shots
Talk
of
to
the
me.
Centurion.
Moving out.
Of course, he is minus an arm, so. That vehicle's dead.
You're brave, I'll give you that much.
you're minus a gun doesn't mean that all your weapons are gone. So Victoria says, "This is your last chance, cousin. Don't make me order your death. Do whatever you must, betrayer." Headstrong fool to the end. Damn you for this. Captain Host. Destroy them, Mastiff. My cousin, all of them. Leave no survivors.
As you command, my lady.
Right, so that's a Wolverine and 2 turrets.
Location confirmed.
And so she's overheated, so we're just going to have her move her into these trees. Blackjack forward. Then we enter combat. We've been heading in the right direction.
You've got my attention. Fall in behind me.
Light laser turret, another light laser turret, and a Wolverine, which has an AC-5, SRM-6, and medium laser.
Firing.
And so then he moves.
They pushed through my defenses.
Well, you are minus an arm, so... Who shot that?
Barely scratched my armor. I'm listening. Confirmed.
It's going to overheat her again, isn't it? You know what, let's just fire off the missiles.
Discharging weapon.
So much
Reporting
for
a
his
critical
autocannon.
strike.
Oh, and then we get a move.
All weapons committed.
There goes the other arm. I'm assuming the laser turret's fight to hit the Centurion. And the other laser turret attacks Camilla.
Reporting
Because-
minimal damage.
The Centurion's out of range. For once.
Talk to me.
Alright, we're gonna have him shoot
Target
the laser turret. Wolverine's armless, so I don't know what weapons it's got left. Given the fact it's boldly running away, I'm assuming it might not actually have any. But we're gonna move forward anyway. Can't target it. Let's take out the closer light laser turret. Because it can still hit the Centurion, and the Centurion's heavily damaged.
Target destroyed.
Tell me what you need.
So we'll move Camilla here, I guess. Of course, that's a cliff, so... Let's fire the short-range missiles. because she's still overheating. That takes out that turret.
Target destroyed.
You've got my attention.
So he might still have some sort of long-range weapon left. I'm seeing this red arc. So let's have Mastiff sprint to here.
Confirmed.
And the Wolverine comes back out. And takes out one of the
Opponent damage.
medium lasers. So it looks like firing the weapons will cause the Blackjack to overheat. So we're just going to run up and try to punch the guy. Or not, so... Actually still has a medium laser. So since we're going to overheat, we're not going to use the lasers. Although 30% hit with the autocannons.
Engaging target.
And that little happens.
Reading you loud and clear.
So we'll have Camille run up and punch the
I'm on the
Wolverine.
way. Yeah.
Orders. Aye, aye.
Alright, so it can't hit with the medium laser, so it's nowhere on the panel. Oh, that hit the head.
Take that as a lesson.
So he rams my mech.
Warning. Armor low.
No kidding.
Engaging physical attack.
Gonna slam into him, taking out his right leg.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Knocking him down, or, well, incapacitating him, apparently. So that exits the combat, so everybody just runs into this area. Alexander, thank the gods you made it. Camilla, Captain Horvolson's prepping the engine now. In another 5 minutes, we'll be ready to depart. 5 minutes is a long time. You see Lady Arano to the docking ramp. She's aboard. Come back to me. We'll hold this pass against whatever comes.
Thank you, Sarasha. Thank you both. I won't forget what you've done for me today. I promise you that.
I have to get Camille to the dropship. Camille runs to the dropship. And then we have enemy contact. Victoria Espinosa, all units advance, so we need to take down that drop to destroy everyone and everything that stands in your way. Well, now they're not even pretending to be nice. Alright, out. I trained you for this. We'll fight side by side, watch each other's backs. Above all else, we keep Lady Arano safe. Protect the dropship, that's all that matters. Warning, engine heat critical. Warning, aero shutdown initiated. Aero reactor offline, weapons offline, systems inoperable. You're in trouble with your Blackjack out? Shame. It's been happening to a lot of Royal Guard battle mechs lately. We have numbers on us, you've resorted to sabotage. And you're gloating about it? You've got no honor, you vicious little brat. Not you, nor your backstabbing father. Shut your mouth, old man. My father's a great man, I swear to all the gods, you will suffer for if you insult him again. Why do they keep referring to gods? Religion didn't really play much in the books. Your father's a coward, and so are you. Out. I want you to eject now. Punch out. You're no good to anybody. You're a broken mech, and I won't let you die today. Eject Mercury Warrior now. That's an order. Now come for me, Victoria. Your teacher is waiting. Come and show me what you've learned.
Mission successful.
And that's the tutorial mission. One last stand, and then he dies a hero. And the mech warrior isn't the only one who dies a hero. Lady Camille pronounced dead. And the uncle sits the throne. Eight hours later, high orbit Coromandor. So Darius Olivia, easy there, Otis. You took a nasty crack on the head when you punched out. Don't worry, you're safe now. My name is Darius Olivia, and I'm the XO of Markham's Marauders. We're a mercenary outfit with ties to House Arano. We did some work for High Lord Damati way back when. I received to Commander Markham, but he was on a supply run in the Market District when the bombs fell. He didn't make it. Alright, so my options are: you rescued me, why? I'm sorry for your loss, or if it wasn't for your company, I'd be dead too. Why was I rescued? Seemed appropriate given the circumstances. After seeing what happened to Markham, didn't feel right leaving you in the hands of this new directorate. Picked up your broadcast of the emergency band. We knew what we had to do. What about Massive, Sir Roger Montgomery? Did you find him? Were you able to recover my blackjack, or what happens now? Let's ask about Mastiff. Found his mech. It was completely cored out. Nobody survives a hit like that. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. We supported the Royal Guard on a handful of deployments, and Sir Roger earned my respect many times over. His death is a loss for us all. So I asked that, when were you able to recover my blackjack? Yeah, our mech tech hauled what's left of it into the mech bay. It isn't pretty, but you give him enough time, Yang can fix just about anything. Try not to take the loss too hard. Yang said your mech shows signs of deliberate sabotage. Whoever you had working on it really did a number on the reactor. Punching out was the right move. So what happens now? Well, things aren't looking so hot around here with the coup and all. House Espinosa Directorate is the new de facto government of the Agorian Reach. So I have to tell you this, but Lady Arano is dead. Her dropship was destroyed on takeoff. It's all over the news. The Mastiff died for nothing. He died doing his duty. From what I remember of the old man, is exactly how he'd have wanted to go. Speaking of going, we're getting the hell out of Agorian territory, heading to a nice, quiet stretch of independent space all the way across the frontier on the Canopian border. As for you, well, you've got options. According to Bloodshed, you've got family out in the Federated Suns. If you want, I could look into booking you transport on a freighter bound for Davian space. Can't make any promises. I'm willing to try. So the answer is the Federated Suns. The Federation is my home. Never has been. My family moved to the Reach before I was born, or no, I'll be damned if I'm going to let the Directorate chase me away, or that's ancient history besides I'm broke. What's option B? In that case, you can stay with us for the long haul. When we get where we're going, we can drop you off the nearest plant. Maybe you can make a place for yourself there. Of course, I'll need you to pitch in for your share of the fuel, plus food, lodging, repairs on your mech. Fair is fair, after all. Alternatively, you could find a place for yourself in the Marauders if you wanted to. Wouldn't take you long to work off your debt, and you ran with Mastiff, so I know you've got chops. Think it over, sleep on it. You've had a hell of a day, and we've got a long road ahead. It does take a while to get anywhere. So 3 years later, and I shall call it here.
Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.